On today's podcast, we're happy to welcome Jenn Muir. How do I say your last name? I'm going to
You
restart
got
that
it. You
one.
got it right. No, most people
Muir?
don't. You got it right. Right. Muir. Yeah.
Muir. Okay, so I'll restart it because I want to say it properly. On today's podcast, we're happy to welcome Jenn Muir, CEO of Blue Arrow Consulting. Jenn, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. So we'll start with your business. What made you want to start Blue Arrow Consulting on your part?
Well, sometimes it's just simple, and I'll start with that. I love solving problems. I've been the person you call in the middle of chaos, even when things get
Mm.
messy in my personal life and in work. I actually even
Oh.
have a picture in my office that says chaos coordinator extraordinaire, and that kind of defines where this all started from.
Mm.
But really, Blue Arrow was born out of wanting to make business feel lighter. I've seen
Mm.
too many smart, capable teams drowning in complexity, unconnected in multiple systems. And I wanted to be the partner that made business feel lighter again, where systems support people and not the
Mm.
other way around. My background, I've been a leader in IT operations in various different markets for nearly 20 years now. And they all struggle with the same thing: complex manual
Mm.
processes, lack of consistency, information and data sprawl, and not being able to find consistent info in one place.
Hmm. And did you experience it yourself into your last experience, the last businesses that you work with? Did you experience those issues directly yourself with the teams?
Yes, especially
Hmm.
trying to find data and put
Mm.
clarity around the data that's coming out when the processes are so disconnected. And
Mm.
being that glue, whether it's the person building the process or the person knowing the process, is important, right? And I still to this day hear a lot of, this is the only way I know, when you're asking somebody about their processes and they're doing it to what I would say is a completely manual 10-step process, but nobody's ever shown them another way. Business gets busy and they're still, output is great, their quality is great, but their process is still super manual behind the scenes.
Hmm. So we'll go into that right after. For your roles in your business, are you just decision maker? Are you hands-on into what's your role and focus in your business?
So I kind of have three different perspectives or focuses when I work with clients. From a strategy side, I really believe that the best technology is not implemented by technical people.
Hmm.
It should be implemented by a technical team led by a business analyst, someone who
Okay.
understands how the business works, understands what success looks like, and understand what really matters, no matter how big or small. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, if you're automating a bad process, you're just making bad decisions faster.
Absolutely. And did you saw any bad processes that went way over the top on your experience?
Uh, yes, definitely. There
Hmm.
are too many processes that are in place that were put in maybe, let's say, 5, 10 years ago by somebody who's no
Hmm.
longer there, that had
Oh.
meaning, but that meaning walked out the door with them. And now people continue to do it, right? And when they start automating those processes or maybe bringing another tool in, there's still, I call it like the Janet process, right? It's the one who's no longer here. It's like, oh, I don't know, but I learned from her and then I learned from them. But when there's not somebody fully digging in and trying to understand what is the problem we're trying to solve with this process, not I click here, I click here, I click here, can I do the same clicks in another system? Then this is where we're just, like I said, bad automating bad processes, making bad decisions faster.
Mm, I understand. So people stay in their old technology because that's the only one they know. They don't want to like do new things because, like you said, the person that knew it is gone, and we don't want to change it because it's working for now. But there's so many better things that you know and people can understand from.
Definitely. And people get busy, right, in their own job. And sometimes it's just easier to continue on the norm, the day to day, what you know, rather
Mm.
than being curious and asking, like, why am I doing this? Is there not a better way? This is why I find in organizations, hiring new people is the best for an organization rather than having somebody that has been there for many, many years, because new people
Mm.
come in, they have a different way. They've just done it in their old company, and they legitimately have to ask questions to get things done. And those questions with the right leadership mindset can start a different conversation internally, right?
Absolutely. And do you see that sometimes it's mostly that old generation businesses that are stuck in those old ways, or even new ones sometimes are the ones that are stuck in the way they're just started with?
I see it in two ways. If there has been leadership that has not changed and has been around for a really
Mm,
long time, they're comfortable, they know how to lead, they know how their team is doing, they don't want to change it. For the newer
mm,
businesses, these are the ones that are scaling so fast and they are surviving. And when you're
mm.
surviving, and you're in that survival mode, it is hard to take a step back and go higher and look at a 50,000-foot view and ask yourself the hard questions. Does this make sense? Am I doing it the right way? Is there a better way to do this? Can this scale if I take on another 3 clients or 30,000 orders in a month? Can this process actually scale? Because right now I'm just trying to keep my head above water.
Hmm. And do you see a major shift in the industry going towards the strategies that they're using for systems and datas from what you're seeing right now?
I find that for a while now, even in larger companies, everybody's been
Mhm.
forced to do more with less, right?
Yeah.
So anybody who is pushing paper or not automating now is already behind. But there is a rise in fractional expertise right now, right? So fractional CIO, fractional CMO. The smaller companies, they have the ability to leverage specialists right now instead of building bigger internal teams. So they have the ability to have these conversations about strategy now. Smaller companies maybe would have thought, oh, a 200-page strategy document, not that I think that's what a strategy is, but it can have the idea that that is what it is. Bring in fractional expertise and actually start working better at scaling their company.
Hmm. And do you see sometimes like pushbacks from companies when you bring them with new strategies or anything? Are they mostly open since they're asking for help, or even if you're bringing strategies or new ways, they're always like pushing back a little bit and not really want to implement it?
Well, it really will depend on the approach. My
Mhm.
favorite moment is if we're just talking, maybe we haven't even signed an agreement, we're not implementing strategy yet. But if I can show somebody or talk to somebody or recommend they go and do this themselves, something new and small on their own. Maybe this is as simple as automating their follow-up tasks from a
Mhm.
meeting to automatically create and block time in their calendar, because now it starts to get their gears turning in their head. They start to visualize bigger ideas for how to use similar things in other areas of their business, but the art of the possible conversations get more fun. And those type of techniques in, trying to get through the resistance that you're talking about help when you're building overall strategy, because if there's quick wins at the beginning, they start to see value immediately. And if you're giving them time back, especially smaller companies where they're wearing multiple
Mhm.
hats, giving them time back, making things more efficient right at the beginning, now they have time to invest back working with you to develop a bigger strategy, right? And this is
Hmm.
what I was saying. Strategy doesn't always have to begin with a 200-page document. Sometimes it is
Yeah.
literally just freeing up 30 minutes of somebody's day. I can't tell you how many times in an internal meeting or an external meeting with clients, and somebody just opens up their screen to share, not even what they're going to share, but maybe they've done something a different way than the person's used to, did a shortcut, brought something up, has a different tool, and somebody goes, hey, wait, what was that? When you are in autopilot or you're busy, you only know one way to do it. But starting to actually see these different
Hmm.
ways of doing things and um, the same solution, but a better way, not just your way, it stops those conversations from being, it's the only way I know how.
Hmm.
Right.
And yet, do you have any example of those automation that you brought into businesses, if you can bring it up, or that you use yourself, that really unlocked that aha moment of them of being like, this is working?
I absolutely. And for me, switching between systems it shouldn't have to happen. Ensuring that systems talk and connect with each other. So there's a lot of different systems out there that various like business coaches or photographers use when doing business with their clients. That is not always connected to their accounting system. Just as simple as that. A payment comes in or an invoice needs to come out, and now they have to go log it into their accounting system. Integrating that data flow just saves time. Not only the mental load of having to remember or write down a task or log or reconcile between two systems, but putting that in place. My favorite one is some of the new calendar management tools that are out there, especially somebody like me or other consultants that have different calendars. I have a personal calendar, I have a calendar for my kids' schools, and I have different client calendars. Merges them all together. And then I can build frames in it to say, okay, the beginning of every day, I want to work on quick wins. Schedule for me everything that's 30 minutes or less. Not having to think of how to plan my day and having a tool that I have put a framework around to say, okay, this day I work on these client things. This day is meetings. This day is follow-ups. This day, and then my morning being quick wins has made me more efficient, as well as not having tasks and to-dos and project structures in multiple systems, having bi-directional sync and allowing one tool to manage and push information everywhere else. Those have been some of the biggest wins. I've just looked at those for my own business, and then those are some of the things that I'm sharing immediately with some of the newer clients that I have now.
Do you have some of the name of those tools? If you want to share
Morgan app is one of them, and AkiFlow is another.
Is it AI based?
They both do have an option. You can schedule it yourself, or you can allow the AI planner to take your task list and your meetings and decide your day.
And do you see the small businesses more, when they contact you, is it more of a time back thing or more of an ROI thing? Do they want more investment, more money coming in, or they want to save more time into automations and ideas like that?
I think when it comes, well, on the AI side, I feel that companies aren't so much afraid of AI. And this is a shift that I see coming as well. There still is a trust gap. They don't fear it, but they don't know where to start, right? And there's so many like these that I just mentioned, niche apps out there. And it's, how do I implement this? Should I have 5 different apps out there? Is there a bigger platform? And sometimes they're licensed for internal solutions they don't know that they are. So leveraging those internally. Almost everything now is able to talk system agnostically between apps and platforms. And that's just getting better and better. And a lot of these are more niche apps as well.
Perfect. And what's working well for your business as Blue Consulting right now? Is it client acquisition or just maybe go in there operation wise? What's the best for your business right now?
A lot of it has been focused on, it comes up with the automation. I have these tools. I don't know how to use them. Can we do X? I would say the majority of the times we start talking about how to do X, and now we're talking about how to do A to Z through it. And not all of those things are things that I need to take on. These are consultations, recommendations. Go and look at these things as well, because I want them to be excited about this. This is not a I do it for you type engagement. This is what is going to work best for your business. And any process redesign is the most successful when you're designing it together, not somebody that comes with a strategy and says, this is what you're going to do. So having them be curious and test some things out, go trial, go look at a couple web pages. And do you like this UI? Or how do you feel about this? Or what would you think if your process worked this way? And really starting to get them into this state of mind of curiosity. How does my process need to work for my business? What does success look like for this company? And at the end of the day, they have to work in the systems. They need to like it.
They still need to put their hands on it and understand it, because it's not just put it there and it's working by itself. You need to understand it, be able to do everything you want and make it work in your business. Is there a time frame that usually people or businesses take to really understand those systems? Does it take like a month, 3 months? So it's pretty easy usually.
It really depends on the
Mm,
complexity of it,
yeah.
but getting them engaged earlier on, testing things out, share, like doing some screen shares. What do you think about this? They feel confident in the system when they get to work on it from the beginning. And this is part of change management philosophy and things like that, is just getting everybody involved from the beginning. They are
Mhm.
going to be change leaders and ambassadors at the end of the day for you. If it's a bigger company, those people that you're working with upfront are going to be the ones singing the praises and why this change has to happen, because they have worked with it from the beginning. They have invested their time into it.
Hmm. And just curious, how do you reach those clients? Is it more referrals? Is it more, what's the main point of a consulting business to reach those clients?
Um, I am working really hard to build an ecosystem of trusted partners, right? So I don't
Okay.
see other consultants as competitors. I see us as a
Okay.
web of specialists. We make each other better. So
Hmm.
this is a lot of mine is relationship marketing, word of mouth, being the glue or the translator that works between the person who has the technical expertise and the person in the business who wants change, and
Hmm.
translating both of those back and forth. As I have many years of experience with it, this is so far how Blue Arrow has been growing. And as I grow, I do want to continue to grow that way. I want to feel human sized, have those deep relationships, not just a bigger roster as well.
Hmm.
When I work with a client, at the very beginning, we don't even start talking tech even right away. I want to know how your business works, all the minutia around it. What keeps you up at night? What are the skeletons in your closet? Because I've seen them all. I refer to
Hmm.
this as business therapy. We get through all of these. So every change or question as we're redesigning things, we can tie it back to, is this going to impact a business criteria positively or negatively? And you build very deep relationships with clients when you're so intimately involved in their processes that, what my biggest win in my company is, we're done working together, but they reach out and tell me
Hmm.
just about a win that they've had, or some,
Hmm.
hey, I found out I can do this in a system that we've implemented, or I've just updated or made an enhancement myself, which is really great. And from my side, I will always be your cheerleader on this end as well.
Hmm. So you really build that personal connection with the person, not just a work relation, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that. And what have been some of the challenges of a consulting business for your part?
You mean other than time? Isn't time
Yeah.
everybody's big challenge?
Yeah.
Um, for me, growth. I have a lot of ideas. I always want to, how can I be better? How can I learn from this last project that we just did? And sometimes that's in the next 15 minutes before this next kickoff call.
Mm.
Um, Again, I mentioned I want to grow through collaborative partnerships. Am I
Mhm.
nurturing those enough? Am I keeping up to date with my own technical development? Right.
Mm.
Um, I mentioned the one calendar task, lovely tool that I implemented. But one of the best things I did for myself to help me grow was um, invested in building my own virtual assistant, AI employee
Mm.
number two, I guess.
Mhm.
And it wasn't about automating. Honestly, this isn't anything that even really I offer as a service here, but it was about building a mirror. And it took time cloning, how I think, my thought patterns, my
Mhm.
work style. But now, as I've put in the effort and challenges of being overloaded, thoughts, ideas, work, I have a place to go in and brain dump,
Mhm.
put in all of my thoughts and have the information returned back to me, smaller bite-sized pieces that I can resonate with and then process better out of all of these things in my head. Now, this is what's important. Prioritize here, think about these things. And I'll get practical tasks to complete right now. Here's your quick wins. I'll also get the reminders. You have kids' dance class tonight. Do not start doing deep work right now. But I get it out of my head and I no longer have the mental load. So I feel this is one challenge I'm starting to work through. And hopefully, as more arise, I have other creative ways to solve them.
How long did it take you to build that mini assistant? Because I've heard of that. People like big YouTubers, they can go back and take all their scripts from videos and just put it all into an AI, and it's like them, their mini them with their goals and everything. But for you, who doesn't have maybe like a content page, how long did it take you to build that? It took like 6 months or
No, it probably took 2 months of refining
okay,
back and forth and really starting with values, not even how I
yeah.
speak or anything like that. What's important to me? And
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked a lot here about what's important to me from a client
Mm-hmm.
perspective, having those relationships and these other partnerships with other consulting companies, but
Mm-hmm.
internally, what's important personally as well. So it knows like when my kids are in school, how old they are, where I want to spend time with them. I don't want to be working 60 plus hours a week. So how can we make sure that I am present when I am not working and then focused when I am at work? So that was one thing. Going through values, my work style, um,
Mm-hmm.
taking back how all the various different leadership roles that I've been in and how I take and receive feedback. I found all of this was really important to have an AI bot who quote unquote got me,
Mm-hmm.
not so much just on exactly what you said, dumping all of the content just so it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like me coming back. So so far it's working well, but I am, I guess, victim to a lot of people who do this. Once you learn one thing and how to do one thing better, it's do you pivot going forward or do you go back to the beginning and refine? So, this constant cycle of continuous improvement is something that internally I wholeheartedly believe in, but it's something internally I need to make time for as well. And when I'm scheduling out my week and all of my frames, I definitely always have a block for those things: continuous improvement, professional development, and reflection.
Nice. And you're still able to put that all in the work without being too busy at the same time, or it's going well?
Yeah, and I think I
Yeah.
found,
Okay.
I mean, admittedly, I don't think that this work is a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job, but I have
No,
enough balance throughout my week that it
that's good.
doesn't feel like I'm overloaded anymore.
That's good. And where do you see the business in the next 6 to 12 months? Is there any goal growth you're looking at? What's your goals for that?
Um, I think getting more of this ecosystem of partnerships, right? And being referred to. If somebody is saying my name in a room, I feel like that is a win. That is a win for me. But as well, I lost my train of thought. I have a lot of experience as well for what I have worked through, whether it's been in corporate roles or through consulting, or really just this role as being the IT translator and how important this is in implementing anything technology. Like I said at the beginning, I don't think technology should be implemented solely, we'll say solely just by technical people. They should have a team, and one of those people be led by business analysts. I would like to see more projects that are in my realm of visibility not
Mm,
going forward without that translator, that business analyst role, the person who truly understands the business. Because from that as well, when you truly understand the business, when new industry trends come out or tools, software, ideas, things even just I see in passing, I'm constantly sending these over to clients that I'm not even really engaged with, but I knew at a point in time this was important to them. So it's not a cold call type email, it's
mm,
really deep understanding of their business to go, hey, I thought of you, and what about this? Here you go. No
mhm,
expectation to return, but it is a door.
hmm. So basically, would you be more of a go to more webinars or be more outside to go into conventions to meet more people? Is that how you want to grow the business so that people talk about it more?
Yes, I've been actually working on the side of doing some webinars or LinkedIn Live
Okay.
series around um, this AI trust model that I'm saying in businesses. It's not the fear, it's just where to start and
Hmm.
understanding it from the basics of this doesn't have to be something that comes in and now runs your company. Where
No.
are strategic places to have it start? And when you're a smaller company, like what makes sense for you? Is this
And
running your back end or things like that? So those are some webinars that I am working on putting together to start hosting.
nice. And do you have one planned soon, or how is that going right now?
It is, yes, it should be soon. It should be in November, and it is called AI is Not Scary.
Aha, that's a good title. Perfect. So, is there anywhere that people can come and talk to you, get news from yourself? Is there somewhere that you want to bring your page, or how does people can communicate with you?
Right now, I am just on LinkedIn. I don't have a website right now, as I guess I say I'm very lucky. I haven't needed one yet. It's all been through word of mouth. But my email address is also a way. It's info@bluearrowconsulting.ca, or hit me up on LinkedIn.
Perfect, Jen. So that was it for the podcast. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a great conversation, and any chance I get to talk about technology that can actually make the business feel lighter feels like a great day. So thank you. You made it easy.
Thank you.